With change, we can restore the Canadian promise so that hard work gets you a beautiful house on a safe street under a proud flag. We can do it with hope for a change.
We are facing the biggest crisis of our lifetimes. Donald Trump is trying to fundamentally change the world economy, the trading system. But really what he's trying to do to Canada, he's trying to break us so the US can own us. They want our land, they want our resources, they want our water, they want our country.
According to a new poll, 3/4 of Canadians who plan on voting Conservative in the upcoming election said the main emotion guiding them is primarily hope for a better future in Canada, to live, work, and raise a family. And contrast this with the 6 out of 10 Liberal voters who say they're motivated primarily by fear of what the future holds for Canada. And this divide is mirrored in the voting intentions of older versus younger Canadians, and with younger Canadians shifting their votes to the right really for the first time, and so much so that they're in fact making TikTok videos begging their parents to vote Conservative.
So I encourage you to vote for Conservative this federal election so you can provide us, your kids, as well as this new generation with security, stability, and safety.
And it's time to vote Conservative. Everyone watching this video, to your friends, to my friends, we got to have these conversations, to our parents, to everyone that can look outside and see that Canada needs a turnaround.
Everyone knows you don't want to make important decisions when you're afraid. Fear significantly impacts decision-making, clouding judgment, leading to impulsive reactions, and limiting our ability to assess situations rationally. It can also cause you to prioritize short-term solutions over long-term strategic thinking, as well as overestimate risk.
Fear will keep the local systems in line.
And I can understand why some older Canadians might be afraid. One reason could be they fear they have a lot to lose if things go badly. And you might hope they would reflect on what possible reason could it be that younger Canadians don't feel the same way. But if they are doing that reflection, most clearly aren't convinced by the reason they come up with. This could be because older Canadians lived through some of Canada's best years and are now blind, some willfully so, to the fact that for many Canadians, Canada can feel very different now to how it did before wages began stagnating and immigration and housing costs skyrocketed out of control. I can speak from personal experience when I say that attempting to buy a house in Canada can be a demoralizing affair. Lots of boomers like to say we're all whiners and they had it just as tough, but if you look at average salary compared to the average home price over the years, you'll see that it is undeniably far more difficult to afford a home now. In 1980, around Toronto, the average home cost the average family 3 years' worth of income. That same house would now cost that same family 10 years' worth of income. Higher interest rates in the past did not make up for the fact that homes across the country are 2 to 3 times more expensive now in real terms. How bad has it gotten that Carney is pitching prefabs as a solution? Has the dream really died that much? And whose fault would that be? Who'd want to live in one of these anyway? And I know what you're thinking. Don't you dare suggest that this has anything to do with Mark Carney's personal interest in this particular brand of modular home. Okay, it's very cynical. We all know Liberals are above that sort of thing. Anyway, my point is that in many ways, the Canada that older Canadians are worried about losing, it's already lost. And it's the Liberals who lost it. So what I don't understand is why fear would motivate someone to vote for the Liberals. What everyone should be afraid of more than Trump's erratic behavior is re-electing the same party that unquestionably made life in Canada more expensive and more dangerous. And when I say dangerous, I mean, yes, both criminals on the streets because of catch and release policies and immigration failures, but also, perhaps more importantly, equally as important, national security for not only failing to address foreign interference, but practically encouraging it. Like, they're still doing it. Look at Paul Chang. So if you know somebody who is irrationally supporting Liberals out of fear, please share this video with them, and hopefully they will begin to overcome that fear and see the logic that it is another Liberal term they should fear. Okay, it's clear that Liberals know this fear is working in their favor, evidenced by the fake button scam the other day, designed to make Conservatives look Trump-like and scare away potential voters because Trump is scary. But if you didn't hear about that particular dirty trick pulled by the Liberal War Room, check out my video from a few days ago. So the Liberals are clearly trying to make the Conservatives seem American Trump-like. And speaking of American-style politics, in an effort to scare everyone into voting for them, Mark Carney and the Liberals have, at least in spirit, essentially copied one of the original American slogans, which is join or die.
There's always hope.
So what's better than acting out of fear? How about believing that the future can be better than the present if bold action is taken to undo disastrous decisions made by the Liberal government over the previous 10 years, and to do what should have been done during that time, such as bolstering our diminished military and strengthening national unity? It's going to take people inspired by hope, not fear, to fix Canada's problems and to chart a brighter future. If, fear makes us think illogically. For example, fear of climate change might make us want to strangle our industry and resource extraction in an effort to reduce emissions. But logic tells us that this is a mistake when there are large hostile states nearby who will not weaken themselves in the same way. Hope makes us try to achieve greater things than we've ever achieved to ensure that Canadians are safe and prosperous. And so it's hope, not fear, which should lead us forward, and therefore it must be Pierre and the Conservatives, not Mark Carney's Liberals, who win this election in order to bring some hope back to Canadians and restore the Canadian promise. Anyway, those are my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.